Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So today's video is going to be about a comment that was left on my previous video where I talked about some of the complaints that have been rolling in for a telehealth company about pricing issues and overall how the company is set up. So if you haven't watched that, definitely go check it out. I am going to attempt to use this as a teaching moment. I'm going to assume that this person was not leaving a negative comment, that it truly came from a place of ignorance, and I'm going to answer the questions. And I'm going to attempt to not be snarky, since I don't think they meant it in a negative tone. So this question is about, why do you have to use a telehealth company? Why is your regular doctor not prescribing this medication for you? Do you not qualify? Right? And the answer to this question is so broad and there are so many factors. And I think that what people lose sight of, assuming that this person is on a GLP-1 medication, what people lose sight of is that for many people, getting on a GLP-1 medication is challenging and you have to jump through a lot of hoops. The insurance companies are making it more and more difficult every day because they've realized, A, these medications are expensive, B, in many cases, these are long-term medications, so they're getting anywhere from, 60 to 70,000 new prescriptions per week was the last statistic that I saw. And they're being flooded with these requests, these prior authorizations, people trying to get help with their various health conditions, whether it's diabetes, weight loss, heart conditions, kidney conditions, sleep apnea, the list goes on and on. They're trying to improve their health. And insurance companies have realized that not only are these medications potentially long-term, but even for those who can come off the medication based off of their conditions, they still need to get to an appropriate and healthy weight range and then do maintenance for anywhere from 6 months to a year or longer, depending on their health conditions. So it's not like they're just, covering these medications for a few months or whatever, or there's a generic version, or, there's a more cost-effective option. It's expensive. And they are trying everything they can to mitigate those expenses. They are, making people jump through all sorts of hoops just to get a prior authorization approved. They are encouraging doctors to not prescribe the medications, especially if they are in shortage. They are requiring, I'll put a letter up here that patients are receiving about patients who are already on the medication, but for their next prior authorization, there's now all these hoops they have to jump through, where they have to, be with a telehealth company and do a diet plan for 6 months and show proof that they have done this plan. Or they have to try anywhere from 3 to 6 other medications and fail before the insurance company will cover a GLP-1. Like, it's really just becoming problematic. So the answer to the question of why are, just regular GPs not prescribing this medication, it's because it's a hot mess. Many of them don't want to have to deal with prior authorizations getting denied right off the bat, immediately, for no reason. It's almost as if there was one lady who was commenting that it was literally denied within 2 days. And this was someone who she saw the prior authorization. The doctor had attached the labs, done all the coding correctly. So it was not an error on the doctor's office's fault. It was just insurance was just like, no. Then she resubmitted it again. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And it was approved. It's almost like they're just denying everything on purpose. Just, oh, we got it. Okay, we got one. Yep, deny. Oh, we got another one? Deny it. Oh, we don't have time. Oh, we have to meet certain numbers, which is how corporate America works. Oh, we have to reach a certain number of prior authorizations we have to get done in a day. So we're just going to take these 10 right here. We're not even going to look at them. We're just going to deny them. I have no doubt that that absolutely happens to people every day. Every day. I'm not saying every company. I'm not saying every person who works at every company. But I'm saying 70,000 new prescriptions just for this one medication type alone. You can't tell me that that is not putting pressure on insurance companies. The other thing to keep in mind is people fight with their doctors, their insurance companies, specialists, going from doctor to doctor to doctor for many, many months before they become frustrated that they're just throwing their money away, going to these doctor's visits, right? Just to get a prescription, just to get somebody to listen. And it's expensive and it's problematic. And especially if you have a deductible, it's not cheap. So going the compounded route with a telehealth company alleviates some of that pressure. And as somebody who their insurance does cover their medication, it's heartbreaking to have to go from having your insurance cover your medication to the situation I was in where I got laid off, and then I had to look at paying out of pocket, and that's anywhere from $300 to $1,500 a month, depending on if you're going with compound or name brand, right? That's expensive. I don't know about you, but I'm just a regular person. I just got like regular middle class money. I have to budget for my groceries because of the economy that we live in. I'm not bankrolling it over here just like, oh, sure, I can just afford to pay an extra, $500 a month for compound Tirzepatide. Right? Like, that's a big chunk of money. But people do everything that they can because the healthcare system is failing them. So the short answer to this question is because the healthcare system is failing them. And if you are somebody who is getting your medication and it is covered, you should be grateful. You should have compassion for others who are not as lucky. You should have compassion for others who have to jump through all these hoops, who, are on the medication and have it covered, and then all of a sudden the insurance company is pulling the rug out from underneath them, regardless of diagnosis. And I warn people about that all the time. It does not matter what your diagnosis is. If an insurance company can get out of covering it or make you go backwards in all of your progress to pull the rug out from underneath you or me, they will absolutely do it. Because you are just a number to them. You're not a person with a life and a family. You're not. You're just a number. And they are doing everything that they possibly can to mitigate the cost factors. So I encourage everyone, regardless of your diagnosis, regardless of your reason for being on a GLP-1 medication, have compassion for others. And if you are someone who has your medication covered by insurance, be grateful and be ready. If you get anything in the mail from your insurance company, you need to be opening it and reading it carefully, because many of them are sending out these letters. People who've been on the medication 3 months, 6 months, a year. There was actually a lady that posted in the support group the other day. She's been on the medication for 2 years to control her various health conditions. And her insurance company is pulling the rug out from underneath her and saying that she has to go and try these 6 other medications and fail before they'll let her get it again. It's hard. It's hard. And the only thing that we can hope for is that people will continue to talk about these medications. Eventually, we will get to a point where the patents will run out on the various peptides, and we can get a generic version that is more cost effective. We just have to hold out until then. And until then, responsible telehealth companies and ethical compound pharmacies are an excellent resource for people who are 100% being let down by our healthcare system. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you agree with me, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree with me, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos, because I have a lot of other helpful, informative videos that can help you on your GLP-1 journey. And if you're looking for a positive-only support group, the link is in the description box below. I'd love to have you along for the ride. And as always, be kind, rewind.